the city that birthed the Panther movement. Revolutionary in me words of Huey Newton. Ironic, the same section birthed the hyphy movement. I was backseat with the bass knocking, going stupid. So I understand the power of some influence, the game and the culture, how it impacts today's music. My foundation was created by my mama's blueprint. My older brothers G and L navigated me through it. I adapted, was impacted by violent actions, sideshows and bullet holes, the fatal attractions, police encounters, handcuffs, plus more distractions. I see good people lose their way from all of the damage on their psyche. Only so much a person can handle when people got murderous intentions. Sanity can vanish like vandals. The scandal's insurmountable. Who's accountable? I've witnessed way too many black lives shatter, y'all. My name is Consci8us. I'm an inspirational hip-hop artist, educator, and entrepreneur. So I want you to take a little bit of time as we get ready to get into this topic, talking about using your voice as a tool for positive change. I want you to think about that verse that you just heard. How did it make you feel? What type of connection did you make with some of the things that I was saying? Were you able to relate with the experiences? If you could just share in a couple of words, a word or a phrase that stuck out to you and how it made you feel. Because I choose to use my gift that God gave me to inspire, to bridge perspective, to tell a story. I grew up in Oakland, California, and I seen a lot of violence. I seen a lot of crime. I seen a lot of my partners get killed. People I went to school with get killed. People that went to jail, some went to prison. So a lot of those experiences and witnessing that informs my music, of course, but it also influences my decisions. It taught me many lessons. I didn't want to take those same paths. I started off on a negative path myself. Starting in elementary when I started getting bullied, it led me to start becoming a bully. I was a really good student. I got A's and B's when I was young. But after I started getting bullied, education was out the door. I started trying to fit in, giving in to peer pressure, started trying to talk to girls. By the time I got to middle school, I kept on that same path. That continued into high school, kept messing up, led me to having below a 2.0 consistently. Many times I was this close to not being able to play football because my grades were so low. The only time I would keep a 2.0 or higher was when I had to maintain the grades for football. And then the rest of the year, I was out the door. And all of those negative decisions led me to where I was finishing up school. I was finishing up high school. And guess what? When it was time to start applying for colleges, what you think happened? I couldn't get into the colleges I wanted to go to. I was looking at my peers, people applying to all these different schools. They getting ready to go off. And where was I at? What happened to me? Guess what happened? Those decisions I made when I was young, they was knocking on the door. They was like, hey, Consci8us. Hey, Wayne, that's my name. Hey, Wayne, you remember you made that decision? You got to pay for that. So all those decisions that I made when I was young, I had to pay for it. And it stagnated my growth. But by the grace of God, I was able to get back on the right track and start doing positive. Even though I had to reset, I was able to get back on track. Came to a point where my mom was expecting me to work, rightfully so. As a man, you have a responsibility to work and be a provider. Those were the lessons that I didn't get or didn't understand and step into. I grew up in a home with a single mother who worked hard to raise me and my brothers. But when you don't have that male reinforcement, that male example, having that father figure in the home, it makes a really big difference. So some of you might not have fathers. Some of you may not have uncles and people in your community that are there to be those father figures and examples. So you might be able to relate with this story. But nevertheless, I ended up getting a job, moved to Sacramento, got enrolled in junior college at a local community college in Sacramento, and I got on track. I started getting focused. I started to really get my mind right and set some goals. I started becoming conscious, listening to positive, encouraging, conscious music, learning about Black history, learning about my roots, my ancestors, and it just really inspired me to make a change and to use my voice for a positive change. So I want to ask you now, What are you using your voice for? What are you choosing to represent? What do you stand for? I want you to think about that for just a moment. Take some time and think about that. What are you using your voice for? Are you being a positive influence? Are you encouraging people and inspiring people, being a motivation? Because that's what it's about. And if you haven't took time to think about that before, I want you to start incorporating that into your thought process. How can I be somebody that's encouraging? How can I be an inspiration? How can I make my little brothers and sisters, nephews, nieces, my friends, my homies, how can I make the people around me want to do better and go harder so that we can be successful? And success is not just about the money, that's a part of it, but success is so much more than that. Being successful emotionally, being successful physically, working out, getting strong, eating healthy. There's so many types of success. Being successful with your education. So starting to think about those types of things. But I also want to really emphasize the point of using your voice for positive change. And you may say, what are some ways that I can use my voice for positive change? I'll give you some examples. As you heard through the song I shared, you can use music. You can also teach. That's something else that I do. You can also tutor and mentor. You can go and volunteer in local programs. You can work at a local community center depending on your age. You can choose to make one-on-one connections to let your voice be heard, or maybe connect with smaller groups, or you can get in front of larger audiences if you want to be a speaker and you find opportunities to get out and speak in more of a public setting. But whether you're impacting one person or a large group, it's all important work to be done. And as a man, that is what you are expected to do, to step up and take responsibility and to give back and to pay it forward. What are 3 ways that you are going to start today to use your voice for change? But whatever it is, I want you to really keep that in your mind. Remember that you are a positive example. You have people that are looking at you even when you don't know it. And sometimes you're going to have decisions that you got to live with. That's part of life. But as long as you keep taking those steps to make it right, that's what you have control over. So stay blessed, y'all. Stay conscious and keep taking those steps to be that positive change and let your voice be heard for something positive. Because as you see in the world, we need it. We counting on you. We need you. And I know you're going to do it. You got everything in you to do it. You've been preparing for this your whole life. So get acclimated, stay focused, write those goals down, and make it happen, y'all. Stay blessed and stay conscious. Peace.